Okay, so it's Monday, which means it's bench press day. And I think the bench press is one of the most frequently fixed forms, bench press and deadlift. They're both technical forms and they're both hard to do. So I'll see these great videos online that show the form very well, but there are prerequisites for both of those forms. In particular, the prerequisite for the bench press is when you go into an arch, that arch is not just your lumbar. And I don't think a lot of people get that. And I don't think they feel it because they're stiff in the upper back. That's all. That's a fancy way of saying you just stiffen your upper back. So the arch extends all the way to the upper back. And the reason you're going to arch in the upper back is you're going to go arch up in the upper back and jam your scapulas down into the bench. That's the point of doing it on the bench. That is the point of doing it on the bench. You're using the bench kind of as a cheater form trick to allow you to get some extra shoulder stability from using the bench. The point of using the bench is not to take a nap on the bench and to not look cool for the other people in the gym, although that may happen from time to time. The point of using that bench, one more time, is to go into what's called thoracic extension, arching through the upper back, rolling your shoulder blades back and down, and then jamming those guys onto the bench. Now you'll be able to see. All right, so watch the long angle in the mirror, because this will be the view as you walk in on Monday and you watch. Watch the pelvis, look at the hips. Look at the hips and look at the front of the rib cage. If you see rib flare, you're gonna also see a hip kind of cocked out, and look for kind of crazy things going on at the legs. So you realize it's all about your chest. Yeah, but you can see the form. It's a whole thing across your whole body. You can find you'll see this. You know not to go coach people, but you just got to sort of look away real quick before they hurt themselves. All right, first of all, you'll kind of see this.
Full speed ahead, Mr. Cohen.
Well, people kind of doing the legs up in the air. I'm not really sure what that's supposed to be. I mean, I know how your legs, when you got this bench thing going on, are going to help you get more power through your chest. Because if you are locked in to thoracic extension, you can't do a leg wiggle. You can. So now you got a nice lever through the heel of the foot, and you're in a big long thoracic extension, and my shoulder blades are just about as jammed in there, and there's my angle. I have a little interference from here, but basically that's my angle for the press. So you'll see variations on that. So if somebody's legs are flopping, look, you see how this space is closed? So nothing's in extension anymore. And further, I'm just smashing my upper back down. And now, look, you could do this all day long. And the arm is vulnerable, so the shoulder joint can also flop and flap around. So one more time, the long view is going to be, get your shoulders set, a slight nod of the chin, don't hyperextend, just a slightly neutral chin, and lift up from the upper back first. And your ribs are knitted, and you're going to feel your tailbone jam into the mat and have a desire to use a little bit of heel press. And that's great because your body will counterlever the bench press weight from the heel of the foot through the base of the spine and then up to that spot that you want, which is jamming your shoulder blades down, rolling them down the back. So then that way you can really press and really power up and access the muscles that you're trying to train, and also at the same time train your core. So you're really getting a whole bunch for your money here. You're getting a big strong arch back training, and you're getting a good press. So one more time, you'll just see all kinds of messes, people kind of doing that, and this is wrong because you see the ribs flared out. See how the ribs flared out? Now I've got my scapulas on the mat, but look at this weird chicken. I can do some serious chicken legging on the bar there, just weird things. Even though that scap, and you'll see the ribs are flared and the hips are kind of flat, and this is just really floppy. I'm not here to relax and do a stretch exercise.
I'm here to do a bench press, which means I'm gonna roll those shoulder blades back and down, lift through the thoracic spine, drive through the hips, plant my feet, get ready, and then have my buddy hand me the bar. And I'm right here before I even take a weight. I'm committed to locking it. Shoot, bam. So hopefully that sort of helps get all of those tips in line, and we'll show one thoracic extension opener.
All right, so let's look at a close-up of that. All right, but what we're going to do is we're going to raise the scapula, but all you're going to do is put your hands up behind your head. And here's your bench, okay? All right, we're not taking a nap here, and you're not going to get comfortable. Bring your tailbone on the mat and bring your legs to a neutral. None of us flopping around and that's a mess, isn't it? I mean, nothing's happening. All right, so what we're gonna do is kind of be really aware. First, bring your shoulders. Now you're gonna lift like you have a string on your sternum, and you're gonna arch. You'll feel your shoulder blades roll onto that bench, and now jam those suckers down. You can jam them down. So you're starting to arch from the upper back, and you can see by this line how it's pulling the rest of the spine with it. One more time. This is sort of, look, see how that you see that a lot. And look, when you do that flopping, I'm just sort of smashing the upper back on here, you'll see the hip cock out, you'll see the belly cock out. One more time, what you want to do really is just start with your hands behind your head, get your hip nice and neutral, and bring your awareness to it. You're going to have to lift. So your upper obliques are totally contracted. It's called knitting your ribs right here, knitting the ribs. You got your elbows behind your shoulders. Now this is your bench press form, and it's actually just hard to hold this form. But from here, now I've got my upper, I can move on the bench and practice smashing my scapulas down. Now when you load your shoulder, the weight that's coming on to your arm is going to continue to further smash your scapula down. Now you've got your perfect angle. This is your angle for your bench press. And you want to stay really active the whole time that you're doing it, so that you're really almost as miserable in your upper back and your spine as you are on the weight coming into the front of the chest. So that's what makes it, it's bench press. It's not a nap.
Bullshit! I don't fucking care. It don't matter to Jesus. But you're not fooling me, man. You might fool us fucks in the league of it, but you don't fool Jesus. It's Bush League Sega stuff. Laughable, man. Woo! You got a day Wednesday, baby.
He's cracking.